Born on Maigito, a colony of Moonalist, Darth Plagueis the Wise was a male Sith Lord that lived before and during the era of the first three movies. Owner of a wealthy moon banking clan, Damask Holdings, Darth Plagueis lived a double life as both Magister Higo Damask of the Intergalactic Banking Clan and Dark Lord of the Sith. Later in life, he became infatuated with midichlorians, organelles that could determine the force sensitivity of a being. Through his influence, credits, and power, Darth Plagueis was instrumental in the rise and fall of the Republic. Darth Plagueis' father was Sar Damask, a middle-ranking agent of the banking clan. During his tenure, Sar Damask became acquainted with a renowned starship designer named Rugus Gnome. Little did he know that Rugus Gnome was in reality Darth Tenebrous, a Bith who would go on to become the master of Darth Plagueis. Through Darth Tenebrous' machinations, Sar Damask was seduced by a Force-sensitive female, and with her, bore a child that would be powerful enough in the Force to be considered for Sith apprenticeship. This child was Higo Damask. In his early life, Higo discovered that he could influence his playmates in a way that they became more like playthings. After an incident in which Higo convinced a young boy he disliked to commit suicide using a potent mind trick, Higo was handed over to Rugus Gnome. Accepting the apprenticeship, Darth Plagueis traveled the galaxy with Darth Tenebrous, acting as the accountant of Rugus Gnome and rising to the rank of Magister after inheriting the Damask fortune and taking control over Damask Holdings. Using his influence, Higo Damask held covert annual greetings with leaders of powerful organizations, crime groups, and cartels, slowly preparing the Republic's eventual demise. Darth Tenebrous adhered to the Rule of Two, a doctrine founded by Darth Bane some 3 millennia ago. It stated that the Sith would consist of 2 members, a master and an apprentice, and that the apprentice, when powerful enough, would challenge the master and destroy him, taking the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith for himself. This assured that the line of the Sith would become increasingly powerful. 67 years before the Battle of Yavin, Darth Tenebrous learned of the existence of cortosis, a material so powerful that it could withstand an attack of a lightsaber. On the isolated planet of Baldemnik, he and his apprentice, Darth Plagueis, went to survey the ore strain, only to find that the group that had provided them with the search probe had betrayed them, and that the probe was digging into a chamber of lethally explosive lethane. When Force lightning failed to disable the probe, the 2 Sith Lords escaped onto the surface. However, as they reached the exit of the tunnel, the lethane explosion produced a fireball that went shooting up to the exit. Tenebrous conjured a barrier to protect the 2 Sith Lords, but when the ceiling began to collapse, he instead used the Force to protect their ship. Standing just meters away, but safe from the rockfall, Darth Plagueis had an impression of hearing the Force whisper to him that the time had come to overthrow his master. In swift execution, he brought down the rocks onto his master, and half buried under a pile of rocks, Darth Tenebrous conferred the title of Sith Master upon Darth Plagueis. And accepting the role, Darth Plagueis broke the neck of Darth Tenebrous and escaped the planet. One of Darth Plagueis' most significant roles in the Sith Grand Plan was the training of Darth Sidious, the man who would later become the one to execute the final steps of Darth Bane's legacy and disseminate the Republic, ruling over it as the Emperor. However, Darth Plagueis' greatest power laid in his knowledge of the Force emanating midichlorians. Darth Plagueis sought to understand the Force in a scientific manner, shunning the Jedi who worshipped it as a philosophical power. He once said in the book Darth Plagueis, which I recommend you read, "To say that the Force works in mysterious ways is to admit one's ignorance, for any mystery can be solved through the application of knowledge and unrelenting effort. As we had our way with the Senate, and as we will soon have our way with the Republic and the Jedi, we will have our way with the Force." Darth Plagueis, referencing his control over the Senate through both his influence and the use of Sidious, pledged that one powerful enough in the Force would be able to control midichlorians as they wished, essentially giving them the ability to restore the life of others. Venomous, one of Darth Tenebrous' other apprentices who was trained in case Plagueis wasn't powerful enough, was one of those test subjects. Through his knowledge of midichlorians, Plagueis took Venomous' life, only to resurrect him again with a self-discovered force power that manipulated and coerced midichlorians to work once again, even in a dead body. Plagueis even went as far as to trying to develop a Force-conceived child, using the Force to mentally probe inhabitants. Anakin Skywalker is rumored to be one of those inhabitants' childs, as his mother conceived without a father. Helping Darth Sidious rise to the title of Supreme Chancellor, Darth Plagueis had planned to become co-chancellor of the Republic, using his midichlorian manipulation to allow the two Sith to become eternal rulers of the galaxy. However, Darth Sidious had other plans. While Plagueis was sleeping, Sidious tortured his master to death with devastating torrents of Force lightning. And there came an end to Darth Plagueis the Wise, Dark Lord of the Sith, and manipulator of life.